Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
Michael just got back from a run around our neighborhood and he took the GoPro with him to do a little chit chat about some questions we had on our channel lately and his scuba diving experience yesterday.
Yes.
I wanted to show you the little the map that his watch tracked because it's so funny. He just ran the square in the neighborhood and you got to look at that.
Yeah. Ocala, Florida, in a square. They marked the neighborhood off.
I couldn't draw a square that perfect.
I know.
Good morning to Abadoos. We're just out for a little while. I was not expecting to squint this much. My morning has been a little bit rough. I was planning on getting up and going to a park with Michael, but my back has been hurting super much. I did my stretches, took a hot bath, rolled out. I'm feeling a little bit better, but not 100% better. So she and I are just hanging out on the couch, watching YouTube.
Well, I think this is probably the furthest you've ever had to walk. I know that I've ever had to walk, I think, with a tank. Even in San Andreas, it wasn't that far like we had to do yesterday.
It was a little rough carrying all the heavy scuba gear yesterday from the little gondola where our trucks are parked all the way to the cavern entrance. It's just very, very heavy.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling a whole lot better now than I was when I woke up this morning, but I'm gonna kind of take it easy, drink some coffee, and then we have a dive at Devil's Inn. Devil's Inn.
Yeah.
I need more coffee. Devil's Den at noon, so I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, me too. That's a bucket list for me. What's funny is I always thought that we would only get to snorkel that.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're getting to dive it is really neat. I told the camera this morning that he told us it was a sinkhole and that it's going to feel like we're swimming forever, but we're actually just swimming in one big circle. And it's going. If you guys watched our scuba standalone, which was only less than 5 minutes worth of footage because we didn't want to bore you, it's going to be darker than it was yesterday. Oh. So I don't know.
I was scared to go in the cavern yesterday, so I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Nervously excited, but that also means I'm probably going to be breathing more air and have to pay more attention to buoyancy. So yeah, but I can't wait. We've loved our experience with the company, and I think it's going to be another fun day.
Good morning, happy Saturday, and we'll check in with you later.
Yeah, let's go have some fun.
As we have some fun today here in Ocala, Florida. Hey everybody, it is afternoon and we are headed to Devil's Den to go diving. I had a couple updates. I am testing out another lipstick for my other channel. I want to see how it holds up with diving. And I had said the other day that I had stopped eating breakfast this week because we have really nothing to cook with in this Airbnb where we live. Michael went to Publix and got me my favorite Zero Sugar by the brand Tillamook beef jerky sticks. By the time we get to Devil's Den, I will have eaten this whole bag. I feel like we're just burning so many calories this week.
I agree.
I was ravenous last night. And I wanted to share one more thing. I haven't told you about my new favorite pumpkin ice cream.
Ice cream. It's funny to call it that.
I am lactose intolerant, so ice cream is off the table for me. And I have tried all of those versions that I have ever been able to find on the market that are like the zero sugar or the keto ones that are lactose free. And all of them make me sick too. So the only ice cream I have ever been able to find that I can eat as a lactose intolerant person is the Van Leeuwen ice cream, which is loaded with sugar. So I've been kind of bummed lately. I've just been in the mood for ice cream. And how I got these horrendous cuts on my fingers was trying to use a can opener because I had this brilliant idea of a new ice cream I was going to make for myself. And because I'm so cut up, now Michael's making it for me. But I'm calling it pumpkin ice cream. It's a can of Libby's, the one that's just pure pumpkin. I am trying to transition into more of an animal-based diet where I eat whole foods that are non-inflammatory.
Yeah.
So it's a whole can of Libby's pumpkin, and then Michael takes heavy cream, which I can eat heavy cream.
You can tolerate, yeah.
I don't know why I can tolerate heavy cream. It must be pasteurized differently or something, but only in very small doses. So he takes the heavy cream, puts it in a blender or a frother, froths it up, and then I just dump the cinnamon. And I'd love to show you what it looks like, but it looks absolutely disgusting when you
It
get
looks like
done.
baby food.
It looks like a bowl of baby diarrhea, but it is so good, and I could eat it. He made me another can of that. The night I had the loaded potato, no potato. I could never eat that after eating some sweet potato at Texas Roadhouse like last night, but
I got a pull tab can that time.
Yeah. Pull tabs for me now. The night we went to Miller's and I had a loaded baked potato, no potato, we had been active that day and I was just so freaking hungry. I'm like, I have to have my pumpkin ice cream. So he made me some more and it's so delicious. I had a few nibbles of it this morning. It does not make a good breakfast though. It makes a good bedtime
evening
snack.
Yeah. I will tell you, so we could make an ice cream. The only difference that we would do is we would probably put, with the amount of pumpkin and heavy cream, 4 egg yolk in all of that, and then stick it in the freezer. Like we could try that.
Oh yeah, I do keep it in the freezer so that it's got an icy cream.
But
texture.
otherwise, it's 3 ingredients if you count the cinnamon.
Libby's, cinnamon, and a little bit of frothed heavy whipping cream.
Yeah, I froth it into a whipped cream consistency so it gives a little more smoothness to the pumpkin. Yeah.
I really want to show you, but I'm really afraid you'll be completely disgusted by how it looks. But if you are here for an ice cream substitute, this is no substitute for the real thing. But if you're looking for an ice cream alternative,
it's not bad. I've tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take, a little goes a long way. I mean, not much, and I'm like completely full and satisfied on it. The can that he made the other night, which I ate that night, and then I had a little bit for breakfast this morning, I've still got well over half of it left. So.
A whole can of pumpkin and probably a cup of heavy cream makes so much.
A lot.
I mean, it makes a lot. Yeah.
But I would always prefer to start my days out with meat or eggs. So I'm so grateful that you went and got me these.
Of course, I had some cheese off camera, but that's all that I've had after my run this morning. We don't like to scuba on a full stomach, so that was another thing. We wanted something light. This lighting is really nice.
It
You know?
is.
It is.
Natural lighting.
I know. Hey guys, taking Abs for a little walk, checking in with you all. It is almost dinner time. I am starving. I'm sure you're starving.
Me
I think
too.
Jules is
So
starving. We're so hungry. We went back to the dive shop, broke down our equipment, got it all set out, had a really good conversation with the dive owner. Again, he's just been spectacular, wonderful. I actually bought a pair of fins. If anybody saw the short, I bought a pair of fins 2 weeks ago when we were in Crystal River, mistakenly, mainly for swimming. I did not realize that at the time. So those are being returned to Amazon. They were used twice. Amazon said, that's not a problem, we'll take them back. And then I ended up buying a set of Scuba Pro, different brand, from Ocala Dive Center today because Julie and I both used them. He asked us yesterday, he's like, maybe you guys should use these fins. We did. They are spectacular. Spectacular. So I bit the bullet, paid double what I paid for the Cressy, and a pair of boots that go on before those, like a pair of wet suit boots. And Julie might be doing that sometime in the future. She still has some wear that she can get out of her Cressy fins. But I just want to say, it was pretty spectacular today when you take everything into consideration and you look at what went right, which was 99.9% of things, I think, today, versus how yesterday went. It was daylight and dark. What I mean by that is we got there. I told you, if you watched my run this morning, about how yesterday made me feel a little bit anxious. It felt like I was smothering a little bit. That's never fun. Did not know, our dive guide told us, Scuba Pro has a pre-dive setting. There's actually a switch on their regulator. Mine was in pre-dive, which means airflow is minimal on top of it being out of tune. So it was not my fault. And when you're doing this and you're with a much more experienced person, when a dive instructor, you immediately think it's your fault. What could I be doing better? So anyway, we switched it out. He gave me his, or one that he uses. Terrific, fantastic, lovely. I hope the GoPro footage can show you a tenth of what we saw today. And it wasn't like we saw massive amounts of marine life, but just the cave. Guys, this is the most prehistoric springs in all of North America. I can't say the world because I haven't looked that up yet, but it was great. Top 5 best days of my life, hands down. It was. It absolutely was. The other one, and we did have a YouTube channel at that time, was a day on the boat on the Ionian Sea when we were in Albania. That was another top day. That day was just a snorkel day, though. This day was, Julie said it, and I don't know if I captured it on camera, so I'm going to say it again. She's like, it was like being in Star Wars, but underwater. And it really was. It was just the best, and it was dark, and it wasn't spooky. It was interesting, and we didn't have a whole lot of crowd, which was amazing as well. And I won't go on and on because we're already at almost 4 minutes, but
Go on. I love to hear you ramble about how happy you are.
There wasn't a single say. I used my mask today. Remember I told you they gave us a different mask yesterday because I wanted to try a new brand. Julie and I, if we come away with nothing from this journey in Florida doing water sports, is the fact that if it's not 100% perfect on you or the way that it feels, don't go under the water. And that sounds so elementary, but when you're there, you've paid the money, you want everything to go right, you want to see cool stuff. You think I'm the inexperienced one, so I'm the one that needs to, go over this hurdle, if you will, i.e. me yesterday with my regulator, when all I would have had to do was tell our guide, and I'm sure he would have walked over, swam over, looked at the switch, flipped it up. Here I get full-blown air. But yet I went down for 58 minutes basically smothering because of something I didn't know about, but was unwilling to say it out loud. So that's the
And
one thing.
I have done the exact same and been unwilling to fess up to the fact that the gear wasn't quite right. And I'm talking about when we went to Rainbow River.
Yeah.
And I had dived the day before in the saltwater pool, found out my perfect amount of weight. They asked me when I was gearing up for Rainbow River how much weight, and I told them what I was so confident about. And they're like,
Yeah.
really? Okay. Are you okay? All right, we'll put that in you. And then we got to the river, and I realized immediately I'm way overweighted. I cannot get my knees, and my feet are banging the bottom. I can't.
She was on the sand, all over the sand.
But I was too proud, and I didn't want to admit that I'd made a mistake, and I also didn't want to bother everybody and make them have to wait on me. And
It's just like asking a question when you're in school, because you're like, I'm the stupid one. No one else is asking this question, so that means I'm the one that doesn't know it. And
when somebody else had a problem, and they immediately said, "Can I go back to the boat because I need to fix this?" And I was like, "Oh, thank God! I'm going to go back to the boat too. Would you care if I dumped a couple pounds?" And the instructor was like, "Absolutely, sure.
And you
Come
were
on, let's
perfect.
go." And it was like, "Wait, you're not
Yeah.
annoyed at me? Like,
Right.
I'm not. I haven't ruined this dive for everyone."
then she was just roller coastering over the seagrass and
I
down on the
dumped
bottom
literally
and up
only
top.
1 pound out of each side of my BCD, and it made night and day difference. I was like
Yeah.
Superman flying at that point.
So that's the one thing, and that's what this was supposed to be about. When we decided to do scuba, it was about to learn more. It was about to be better. It wasn't about, oh, I get to see this or that. That becomes tertiary. That becomes the last thing on our mind. We want to get down. We wanted to have new environments. We want to see new places, not necessarily new fish. And I came away with this, because I'm not sure, this may be our last dive on the trip. I came away from this being better prepared, more knowledgeable, if in nothing else, making myself, knowing that we don't go down until each person feels the most comfortable that you can feel. And that's when you're going to have the best time. The best time isn't, oh, we get to see this fish, we get to see this shark, we get to see this turtle, we get to see this reef. I come away with from this loving the springs and fresh water. We'd never dove fresh water. We'd never dove in the U.S., by the way. We were
True.
only
That is true.
diving one time a year, because it's like Michael and Julie are going off to blah, blah, blah.
If it can't be like the most pristine, exotic coral reef, world class, we didn't think it was worth doing.
Exactly.
Which was so stupid.
Well, it was ignorant simply because we didn't know. It wasn't stupid. It was just we didn't know. I am here to tell you. I told Julie, the only other community I've been this much around is the rock climbing community, and that happened when 2020 happened, and you couldn't do anything indoors, so we got outdoors, and we climbed a lot with Marshall and Mary, and we went to world-class destinations. We went to New River, West Virginia. We went to Red River Gorge in Kentucky. World-class destinations. And they would have these campsites. They would have these places that you just roll up, pay an entry fee. People are camping out. We're showering like we're at an RV park. And I remember having to pay quarters to get warm water, babe, I think it was at New River in West Virginia. And I was like, this is cool, right? I liked climbing. I do. I like climbing. I am telling you today, when we left Devil's Den, and this has happened 2 days in a row, Blue Grotto was the same way. It's set up the same way. What I mean is it's privately owned. It is a campsite. It has food. It has gas and equipment rentals for your tanks. It has merch, and it has classes that go on to become better. And I get it. I had a light bulb moment where I was like, I could seriously spend 7 days here and become a master diver of Devil's Den. You know what I mean? To know the nooks and crannies, to know where the fish hang out, or where that turtle hangs out, like at Blue Grotto yesterday. Although he hangs out wherever you go. He's very in your space, isn't he? Julie loved him.
I did. There were two things I loved about the Ocala Dive Shop, and first of all was how it felt like a bunch not a bunch, but a few really close, tight-knit friends, even though I'd never met these people before.
Yeah.
The first day, there was a woman that came along with us. We had no idea she was coming, but she actually was very experienced, and I just bonded with her immediately because I'm like, I'm a little nervous, I'm a little anxious, I struggle with my ears.
She's like, oh,
And she's
that's
like,
okay.
okay, well, we've all been there. We'll work through this together. And then
You got
today-
along with the dive owner's wife?
yeah, she was so nice. I wish she had come with us.
I know.
And then today there was a guy that we didn't know on our dive, and it was like the moment I met him, it felt like family. You know, he was just a genuine, good person, and made the dive so much more fun. I got to where I do this, where I swing my head around looking for my buddy, because Michael's usually behind me,
Yeah.
and I'm checking for him too.
Right, I know.
And I'm like, he doesn't need me to check on him.
No,
what
he
am
was
I going
about
to do?
2 feet above us. You notice that? He stayed
Yeah.
about 2 feet above us.
But he had recently gotten recertified also after taking a lot of time off of scuba. And I don't know, I had this sense of we're all looking out for each other.
Yeah.
And we all want everybody to have the best time possible.
Yeah, the
And
safest way possible.
The safest way. It was such a intermingled, peaceful,
Yeah.
good.
I will say their little motto, the dive shop's motto is community focused scuba.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1,000% what this was.
It didn't feel like we booked a dive instructor to take us and a bunch of strangers
Exactly.
who booked him to just take us around and show us cool stuff.
Exactly.
It felt like 4 friends jumped in the water together and just had a great time hanging out together. You know, like it
And we
was so
knew
different.
who the leader was, but it was only because the leader had been here before us, and so we knew all of the cool
Mm-hmm. I
spots to
felt
take us.
very similar at American Dive Pro last week.
Yeah,
but,
that's true. I do too.
but not quite the same as I felt today. I almost felt like these are forever friends that I've never met.
Yeah. They were the nicest folks. We wanted to support them, which was why when he let me try the fins, I was like, yes, I want them. I could have got them off Amazon, but I got the same price for them from him, and I know that helped his shop out. The climbing community is very community oriented as well. Now, of course, there's good and there's bad in that. What I mean is people that want to show off, or people that want to say they're the best, or I've done this, have you done that? Well, if you haven't, you're not as good as me, or we're going to oust you, if you will. But these guys, the people that we dove with the last few days, have been just fantastic, and even better that they're good people. Mm-hmm. They seem to be good people. They also do classes as well, and so there may be an opportunity down the line to come and dive more. After yesterday's dive, I was begging the owner to take us back out to Blue Grotto, and he's like, well, you guys, we have another tank. I'll get to that in a second. While we had 4 tanks today instead of 2 for Julie and I. He's like, it's just across the road, and it kind of is. It's about 3 miles different, but we're, again, taking Aber into consideration. We unfortunately couldn't do that today, and that's okay. But my point is, like Julie said, it was like friends. He said, well, you guys can go back down here too.
We're using
He said,
all of
you
his
all
stuff,
have,
by the way.
Yeah, we're using all of his stuff. He's like, you still have 1,500 PSI. Go down and flit around. I'll just stay up here on the surface. And we're like, no.
I said,
Not doing that.
I wouldn't swim around in this cavern without him. For all the money you could have stuffed in that cavern.
Yeah.
No way.
But the point is, they wanted not to show off, not to tell you what you're doing wrong, but to tell you, here's the best time that you can have. I trust you to know some of your stuff, but I will check in with you enough to make sure that you're okay. And so I was honest with him this morning, and I told him a little bit last night. I was like, hey, I felt like I was sucking through a straw. He's like, I can tune it for you. I'd already dropped my equipment back off at the house. So I started feeling like I need to tell Jeff. I don't want to be anxious today. So I text him. He calls back. Julie answers, and he's like, oh, that's all he was calling. Because I texted him and said, look, I need your advice on something. He thought it was serious. He's like, oh, that's all he's calling about?
Like, I'll just let him use mine.
Yeah. He's like, I'll just let him use mine. So
Because
what I
you thought
wanted
it
to
was
know
the
is,
regulator with a problem, and it wasn't.
yeah, the Scuba Pro has a switch, a dive in a dive switch, and I didn't know that. And again, you don't know what you don't know, so you ask your guide. This isn't my equipment. He knows the equipment. It would have taken him 2 seconds, and I would have had a completely different day yesterday. So I want to come back and go to Blue Grotto and have that day over again, you know?
You had a more anxiety-inducing experience at Blue Grotto than I did.
Yeah.
And
but today,
I am still kind of recovering from the anxiety that I got when we did our scuba a year ago.
that's true.
And
That's
every
true.
dive is different, but not necessarily better. I got recertified, passed everything with flying colors. The dive master was like, "Why are you here? You understand everything.
Yeah, you aced the test.
Tell me what's going on psychologically." So I told him the story, and then we went to Rainbow River, and there were quite a few times in Rainbow River where I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, I'm 22 feet below the water, and my anxiety's starting to build up." I just looked right up and saw the sunshine. I can swim that. That's
You
no
can
big
swim.
deal.
You can go straight up if you want.
So it was kind of like every time it would happen, then I would start being like, this is anxiety talking to me. This is not reality.
Mm-hmm.
Can I breathe? Yes, I'm breathing. Am I getting enough air? Yeah, I'm getting plenty of air. Let me check my air. I have lots left. There's the sun, but I don't need to go for it. So by the end of that dive, I was so super confident, but it was because it was a very shallow dive.
Yeah.
And then yesterday when we went to Blue Grotto, Michael was having a few issues with his equipment and his mask clearing and whatnot. So I actually had equipment that was working fine for me, but it took me like 10 full minutes to get to the bottom because of trying to clear my ears, which is very hard for me to do. So by the time I get to the bottom and I realize Michael's going to be a while because they've got to swap some equipment out, I'm just going to practice my comfort here at the bottom. Instead of clinging to the rope or the ladder or the platform, I'm just going to kind of let it be and just see what happens. And so there were only a couple of times yesterday where I started to get like panicky anxious, and both times I was like, can I breathe? Yes. How much air do I have left? Lots.
Plenty.
It's like,
yeah.
well, let's remind ourselves this is anxiety, not reality. Well, today, I was kind of unaware, and he told us, but I forgot, that we were going down into kind of like a fishbowl shape.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a bowl. It's only around in a circle, but it is a fishbowl shape. So we go in there, and, you know, it's not even a sunny day, but we swim to the rock wall, and he's like, we're going to go down. We go down to our 20 feet or whatever, and we start swimming. It felt like we swam for a quarter mile.
Uh-huh.
So I started to have trouble with my ears, and I realized there's an overhang over me. I can't come out of the water, which is not exactly true because it is open, but there's not a lot of space. So I started to kind of panic about my ears, and I look, and it's dark. I can't see anything.
It is dark.
I can see his fins up there and I have a flashlight, and I started to turn and look, but I was going the wrong way. So all I'm seeing is the side of the fishbowl. By the time I got this way and I see Michael behind me,
Panic.
I'm like, I'm going up. Well, the instructor saw me say that, and he came over, and I realized I knew it was my anxiety, but I didn't want to really be honest about why I was anxious, and I didn't really know how to tell him I'm anxious because I can't see the sun. I don't know the hand signals for that. So I just told him it was my ears, which it kind of was because they were bothering me. I was like, I need to go up. And I meant I needed to go all the way to the surface, right? So he's like, fine, come on, we'll go. Well, he's expecting me to work on my ears on the way up, and I wasn't because I was more just panicking about
Need to see the light.
I didn't know where the surface was.
Yeah.
So he took me, and there came a point where I literally felt the crackle and my ears had like cleared.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, well, I can stop now because the anxiety immediately
You know
ended.
yeah, exactly.
But now I got to go back all the way back down, and that's making me anxious. So I was like, I'm good. Let's just go back down, and I'll probably just panic again when we get there, but at least I tried.
Well,
So, I can't talk to him still because I have hand signals. So he turns around, and we start going back, and I'm like, oh, the dread. I'm going.
Really?
I'm going for what feels like 1,000 miles away from the sun. Which I wasn't. I was in a fishbowl. You understand, right? I'm swimming around in a circle. I'm not.
He did say you're going to feel like you're swimming forever, but we're just going around in circles.
It feels like you're swimming a straight line away from the daylight, but you're not.
It does.
Well, anyway, when he started to take me back, for some reason the anxiety completely melted because I'm like, okay, there's the platform with the blue
You've seen
carpet,
that before, yeah.
and here's the rock that sticks out like a point, and there was a blue catfish here earlier, and he's gone now, but that's okay. And I started to recognize markings on the way down, and that's when I reoriented in my brain. And it's like, oh, I'm not swimming away from the sun. I'm swimming around the sunlight. And all of a sudden, it was like, I don't care how deep we go. This isn't scary at all. It was.
There's these moments where everything just clears up and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, what am I to be upset about?
Like, I'm
There's
not,
nothing
like, I was anxious and panicking
Yeah.
because I thought I had gone so far away. And it's just like, you just got to look up. Sometimes you just got to relax. You can breathe. You have air. Let's figure it out.
But again, another thing we learned is equipment is essential. So the mask I used yesterday, he offered it for Julie to use today.
I didn't like it.
Sure. But again, Julie was either having to continually clear it or it was fogging up on her. Again, these are little stresses that when you have a mask, when you have fins, when you have a regulator, things that you're used to using and they operate in a way and they operate 100% for you, that person. When you throw variables in,
the mask for me kept fogging up and I couldn't see anything, which was contributing to
stress,
both anxiety attacks, which is like, well, if I can't see anything, I need to get to the air fast because I can't see.
I got to get to the surface. Otherwise I can't see.
I know how to clear a mask underwater and I'm not afraid to do it.
You became an expert today, didn't you?
But I'm used to not having to do that because my Cressy never fogs, never.
Ever.
So I actually I had to clear the fog out of my mask probably every bit of 50 times while we were underwater because it would immediately fog back over and I'm like, I gotta let the water in. The water is gonna go in my eyes. The water is gonna go up my nose.
It's much more pleasant though with fresh water, isn't it? Than the ocean water.
But I had to clear my mask so many times that by the end it was like, I don't care that water went up my nose. I don't care that I have water in the back of my throat now. Like
that's exactly right. You're right.
It's like the repetition, it became such muscle memory. It was like, here comes the water flood. And I wasn't even like, I don't normally get anxious about that, but that was something that now I'm super comfortable with.
That's what these trips
I don't like that mask.
are supposed to be about. That was one of the things we wanted to do this time. I'm so happy we've been able to do that and check that off the list for sure.
Yeah, me too. Okay, we had finished Abra's walk, so we're going to finish up talking about the dive.
Yes.
As a Jeep chat.
I changed. I got a dive shirt today from there.
I don't know if I will show you the back of Michael's shirt. It's got a map of Florida and all of the diveable springs on it.
And we just going to make a checklist, I think. We might just do that someday.
Never mind my lipstick. I am still trying this stain out, and it held up fairly well through a dive. So I'm going to see how it holds up through eating, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I wanted to say, I was talking as we were walking about how my mask kept fogging up. And when we got out of the dive, got back in the Jeep and started to leave, and Michael asked me, well, how was the dive? What did you think? And I said, it was great. And he was like, just great.
Julie always tells me more than that.
Yeah, I'm usually effervescent with enthusiasm. And, well, I didn't really know how to tell him because I hadn't really processed how I felt, and I've talked it out and I figured it out. This dive, I did see the koi fish and I saw some really big fish and I never saw a fossil, but the amazing caverns. But because my goggles were fogging up so much, I really didn't see a lot of things. I will always be a Cressy girl after this, I think, for a mask.
Yes, absolutely.
I think I talked about the couple times I got anxious because I was looking around and all I could see was rock and wall and ceiling and thought I had to go to the surface. I only had to go halfway to the surface and I was able to calm down. And then the second time it happened, I handled it all by myself. I didn't even tell anybody. And then as we started to make our way around this huge fish bowl the second time, and it was all familiar to me and I'd seen it all before, there was no anxiety whatsoever. I got to go way deeper. I think we only went down to
36 feet.
36 feet. So it wasn't even as deep as yesterday, even though it was far more terrifying because of the
more. That's true.
I had never had to dive where I had to use a flashlight. You cannot see anything down there without a flashlight. Even though it's not a night dive, I'd never dived in the dark. So when I told Michael it was great, it was because, okay, I didn't really enjoy what I was looking at that much because I was fighting my mask for the entire dive. And I couldn't see anything because of my mask being foggy and because of having to use a flashlight. And but I was actually at peace with this dive because I'm realizing this is exactly the dive that I wanted to have. I wanted to go to a stressful environment. I didn't want everything to quite work right. And I wanted to learn how to troubleshoot and not have to get somebody else involved. And but by the end of the dive, I didn't even think about my buoyancy, not one time. And that had a lot to do with those amazing fins that he let me borrow. I never thought about my buoyancy. I never kicked a rock. I never dragged the sand. I never floated away to the surface. Never had a buoyancy issue the entire time. Handled two little panic attacks all by myself like a big girl.
You did great.
Cleared my mask, just constantly clearing the fogging up of my mask. So you had to let the water in to rinse the mask, and then you have to get the water out under the water. I really spent the entire dive just doing technical things. And even though it wasn't the most magical dive for me as far as what I got to see, I realized when I got out of the water that I felt so good about it. Well, we went back to the dive shop, and I was talking to a woman who works there, and I was explaining how I got certified 2 or 3 years ago, and I was so confident. As soon as I was, this is easy, this all makes sense. I remember everything I was taught in class. Strap here, clip there, off you go, have a great time. They do it all for you when you're in another country because you're a tourist.
Yeah.
And so you don't really have to ever troubleshoot anything. And I was so confident until the dive that traumatized me a little bit. And I said, I've been trying so hard, to get that confidence back that I had before it happened. And I don't know what she said, but something about how she explained it to me. She was like, you're not trying to get cocky again. You being, overly confident about something you were underexperienced about caused you to not remember your equipment, where it was, how to use it, communicate, and all of these things. She said, you are absolutely not trying to get back to where you were before you got traumatized. She's like, you are trying to build upon that and overcome. And it sounds like you're doing exactly that. And that's when it clicked. I'm like, this dive today at Devil's Den gave me the level of humility that I did not have before, when I thought I aced my test. I flew through the class with flying colors. I didn't struggle with anything. I was cocky. And now I feel like I've got this base layer of experience under me that feels so good. I don't know what else to say about it.
I think it comes with the equipment. I think it comes with the guide. And I think it comes with the recertification last week. And again, it's not cockiness, but having confidence will just make the dive easier. I can say that from yesterday until today. Today was a much scarier dive.
Yeah, so
because you had to keep
scarier.
Remembering, we're in a fishbowl. I know you cannot see the sun. You can't see the surface. The surface is actually, it's rock. You realize that if the equipment is working properly and you feel comfortable, you can troubleshoot in your mind. Otherwise, you're thinking about that one thing, or I have to clear my glasses, or I have to get my fin. What if I get stuck here? Well, I can't get through that hole. I don't know what I'm going to do because I can't see the sunlight. Your brain can't settle down once one stressor comes out.
And that was me. The 2 times I had a little panic attack. I'm like, we have swam so far away from the sunlight, and all I see above me and around me is rocks, and I can't get out of here. And so then you hyperfixate on everything. My air tastes funny. I'm not getting a deep enough breath. My kicking is different because I have on new fins.
But you brought up a really good point. She goes, I knew that our guide would never put us in dangerous situations. And but again, your brain makes you second guess everything. The single stressor.
And then I told him I
needed
needed to go up, and I didn't, but I didn't know how to tell him. I'm getting really anxious here. We're a long way from the sun. But I did study the map. I did understand the fishbowl concept. I did, until I got in the water and I forgot it all.
Brain goes.
And when he started to take me up, and I was like, actually, I think I'm fine. And so then he had to take me back down, and we're passing these familiar landmarks, and my brain is not stressed about all this new sensory information coming in. It's like, I can feel it. We're just going around in a circle. The sun will always be right there. It's over there, but it's right there. And he was just so, the level of calm, placid, I got this.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Checking on me all the time.
All the time. Yes.
He knew about my ears. He was checking on my ears more than I was. I'm like, my ears are actually great today.
He would do this. Okay.
Clear your ears.
And yeah, he would do that if he.
Yeah. This has been an amazing, incredible week.
Absolutely could not have drawn it up better,
No.
except for maybe being able to dive last week. But
well, we tried. We tried really hard. And he's headed to Jensen Beach on Monday.
He's like, "What are you doing Monday?" It's like, "We're not going back there. We just left there."
I couldn't thank them enough. We're gonna have to leave them a really good Google review. They're going on our Christmas card list. Like,
absolutely,
I feel like
he
has extended a gift to me in that I am now realizing that I don't have to overcome the trauma and get back to where I was as if it never happened. I just have to use it like a brick and stack it in the wall that I'm building of confidence that is going to grow only with experience. Which everyone has been telling me this, and I have been repeating it because I've been hearing it, but now I'm starting to feel it, like it's becoming a part of me. Yeah, it's like written in my DNA now. So
absolutely,
I'm so happy. If
too.
this is the last dive we're able to get in, it couldn't have been more special for me.
Yep, same here. I've loved every
and
second
I can't wait
of
to
it.
watch the GoPro footage and see what I missed.
I hope I got stuff. I'm like, I hope this footage is coming out lighter than what I'm seeing it, because we in the dark.
I didn't see much, but I was troubleshooting the entire dive, and I was getting pretty good at it. So
that's right, and that's the important thing.
We're starving. Are you surprised?
I'm starving.
And one of our favorite foods is Indian food.
It is.
So we are here at a restaurant called Amrit Palace. ChatGPT tells me they get a 4.8 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
And yes, Indian is a place that I like to eat. I don't know what they do to the rice. I don't know if it's how much they wash it. I don't know if it's what kind they buy. I can eat rice at a good Indian restaurant all day long.
Basmati is good stuff.
White rice is back in my diet, so I'm very excited for this.
Well, and Jules woke up so depleted this morning from yesterday's adventure that today we're both wiped today.
I am gassed.
Well, think about it. Julie makes a good point. Typically with scuba, you kind of just float. A lot of times you do have a current. He told us today you're not going to have a current. And he said you're going to be swimming a lot. So we were swimming. We swam the entire way because the bottom is rock. The top is rock. The sides are rock. Like, you have to continue to move. So we never stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So
I never feel like I'm burning calories while scuba diving. And if I do not have to carry my heavy gear, because athlete Michael over here is such a sweetie and he will carry it for me.
Absolutely.
But I did have to carry it today down about 50 steps.
There's a lot of steps to the water.
But if you deduct whatever you burn carrying your gear to the water, and if you deduct any shivering that I do if I get cold, which I did not get cold today, I don't feel like I burn a single calorie scuba diving. I just bob along like a freaking manatee.
What she
happy
doesn't,
as a fucking
she doesn't realize is the cellular stress is still calorie burning because we're breathing artificial air. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all come out a little bit loopy. And the more days you dive consecutively, you come out a little loopier, and it takes a little while.
I do. I come out of the water plumb stupid. Like, I don't know if I get too much oxygen in my brain or too little. Today I lost my pants. Oh
my gosh, you did.
I came out of the dive, and I do not like wearing a wet bathing suit home. So I grabbed my shirt and my shorts out of the bag and took off to go change, and got there, and all I had was a shirt, and I had to walk around in half of a bathing suit, and
all 4 of us are searching.
I am lifting palm fronds and kicking aside clods of grass. Like, makes no sense trying to find my shorts because I was not able to compute.
I was trying to find the word granted because I was trying to tell Jules that I don't take any dive for granted. We don't care about marine life. Is the 3rd thing on our list. We want to get better. And we want to feel comfortable. And then if we get to see stuff go by, cool. Well, I could not find that word. I kept wanting to say vantage. I couldn't say granted.
He gets a little stupid too with scuba diving.
Yeah.
He got stuck on the word. I don't ever take diving for vantage.
I can't think of that
and he's
word.
Like, it's vantage. I know it's not vantage.
It's not vantage. What's the word?
We should turn the camera on sometime when we first come out of the water, because I feel like we shouldn't drive for about 20 minutes. Good thing it takes a full 20 minutes to get a wetsuit off.
To get that wetsuit off, it sure does.
I can't wait one more minute. Robin just texted me.
Let's
Hi,
go.
Robin, if you're watching.
Hey, Robin.
She sent me some videos.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I am starving. We're going to Amaranth Palace and we're getting
Yes.
some Indian food, and I will show you
Yes.
what it looks like.
Let's go, please. Okay, we are finished. Full.
That was some
I think
great Indian food.
I think we ate too fast. I think I ate too fast.
Yeah, me too.
It was great Indian food. He said, well, we hope we see you again real soon. And Joy and I looked at one another like, you might see us
You might
tomorrow.
see us tomorrow.
Not sure.
Really, really good. Indian food.
Really good food, really good day, really good people, really good town. We've had such a great time. So happy we ended up picking this on a whim while we were stopped on 192 eating Chipotle.
We have a few more days in Ocala. There's
We
other
do.
things that we want to do here, but I wish we had come here and been able to stay for longer, and I can't wait to come back.
That's the thing. Like, we already know that, and we've not been here a full week yet. So that's how you know it's a good place.
I loved Crystal River, and I think I love Ocala just as much.
I think so too. I think I agree with you on that. Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
Well-
guys, we're going to call the vlog here, go home and take care of Aberdew and edit our blog and relax.
Yes, I've got 2 to edit. I got my run, and I've got the dive. Crossing my fingers. I hope that one turns out really well. We hope you guys have had a great day. We certainly have. We'll see you again tomorrow morning. Good night, guys.
Bye, everybody.